Just Yo.
Dirty, bad mind. Dirty, dirty, bad mind. Dirty, dirty, bad mind.
Them just a lava and pale for me. I don't give up. Don't give up. Them just a run off the mouth and sit down for me business. I don't give up. Don't give up. Take your dirty mind off of me. Take your dirty mind off of me. The more them talk, the more them chat, the more Jah bless me. Take your dirty mind off of me. Take your dirty mind off of me. Cause the more them talk and the more them chat, Jah bless me. Bad mind can't stress me. Them don't impress me. Them a run off them mouth and talk like the informer of the century. Pure hate and envy and pretend to be friendly. Them will smile in your face and stab you in the back, so dangerous and deadly. Them bad mind and stupid, I don't know why they do it. Got them nose up in my business, on my name like freaking snitches. Them feisty and nosy and always telling stories, but them don't really know me, so just love me. Them just a lava and pale for me. I don't give up. Don't give up. Them just a run off the mouth and sit down for me business. I don't give up. Don't give up. Take your dirty mind off of me. Take your dirty mind off of me. The more them talk, the more them chat, the more Jah bless me. Take your dirty mind off of me. Take your dirty mind off of me. Cause the more them talk and the more them chat, Jah bless me. Shut your mouth and stop talk. You all have a mouth sharp. Always got something to say because you're malicious to blood. Them all that the heathen will hate on you for no reason. Them around them mouth just to clout and come off like a big ten freak then. Them bad mind and stupid, I don't know why they do it. Got them nose up in my business, on my name like freaking snitches. Them feisty and nosy and always telling stories, but them don't really know me, so just love me. Them just a lava and pale for me. I don't give up. Don't give up. Them just a run off the mouth and sit down for me business. I don't give up. Don't give up. Take your dirty mind off of me. Take your dirty mind off of me. The more them talk, the more them chat, the more Jah bless me. Take your dirty mind off of me. Take your dirty mind off of me. Cause the more them talk and the more them chat, Jah bless me. I just did.
On your belly. Ready now, ready now. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hear me now. I never bad mind nobody yet. I never fight down nobody now. I never try stop nobody breath. That is not in my nature, no, no, no. I never see people with them things and vex them of it, especially when they work hard for it. But it have some people, soon as they walk through your door, they put a stumbling block in your road, your road, your road, your road, your road, your road. They practice evil, they think we don't know. And some of them close, they close, they close, they're close to you. I'm telling you, enemies from the borderline. We're not blind, we don't fuck them long, long time. Yes, I, enemies on the borderline. Enemies heavy load. I never sell out my friends, that's not something I don't practice. Too many actors and actresses, yeah. But it have some people, soon as they walk through your door, they put a stumbling block in your road, your road, your road. Your road, your road, your road. They practice evil, they think we don't know. And some of them close, they close, they close. They close to you. I'm telling you, enemies from the borderline. We not blind, we don't fuck them long, long time. Yes, enemies from the borderline. Enemies from the borderline. So remove yourself. We don't want a friend from them. We don't want to drink from them. We don't want to drink from them, from them, from them. So remove yourself. We don't want a friend from them. We don't want to drink from them. We don't want to drink from them, from them, from them. I'm telling you, I never bad mind nobody yet. I never fight down nobody now. I never try stop nobody breath. That is not in my nature, no, no, no. I never see people with them things and vex them of it, especially when they work hard for it. But it have some people, soon as they walk through your door, they put a stumbling block in your road, your road, your road. Your road, your road, your road. They practice evil, they think we don't know. And some of them close, they close, they close. They close to you. I'm telling you, enemies from the borderline. We not blind, we don't stop them long, long time. Yes, enemies from the borderline. Enemies from the borderline. So remove yourself. We don't want a friend from them. We don't want to drink from them. We don't want to drink from them, from them, from them. So remove yourself. We don't want a friend from them. We don't want to drink from them. We don't want to drink from them, from them, from them. I'm telling you, man, your belly.
𝒐𝒊𝒔𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 Trata marita, harwa harwa kudaha, tomata piken tomata pi. Tomata piken tomata pi. Tomata piken tomata pi. Tomata piken tomata pi. Taro tarusa, musa sawa badeda, kenkakru wandaha, wandaha tupakuba. Trawa bukaha, harwa harwa kutaha, kentrawa marita, kaku sawa bodeda, tomata piken tomata pi. Tomata piken tomata pi. Tomata piken tomata pi. Tomata piken tomata pi. Da 𝒐𝒐𝒑𝒚𝒓𝒂𝒊𝒕, 𝒏𝒐𝒕𝒄𝒑 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒂, 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 bodeda. Da 𝒎𝒂𝒂𝒂, 𝒏𝒐𝒕𝒄𝒑 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒂, harwa harwa kudaha, tomata piken tomata pi. Tomata piken tomata pi. Mata piken tomata pi. Tomata piken tomata pi.
Bash on them. Make it an anthem. Land of Guyana, of rivers and plains. I'm a real Guyanese. From the time when I step on the scene to the moment I leave. I'm a real Guyanese. From the red to the black to the gold to the white to the green. I'm a real Guyanese. And nothing can change me. So nothing can change me. I'm a real Guyanese. I live in a foreign country. So nothing can change me. 6 races, beautiful faces. Put your hand them in the air if you're not racist. I pledge myself to honor always. I will never disgrace this. Them want peace and we map. Wait your mothers, we not get you that. No, no, not one caress. Not a blade of grass. Listen up, 83,000 square miles. Oh my God, we find aisle. Me not tell you no lie. Guyana nice, but no fear for my life. Land of many waters, bring out all the leaders in the son them and the daughters. If you want to be far, no, not at all. I'm a real Guyanese. From the time when I step on the scene to the moment I leave. I'm a real Guyanese. From the red to the black to the gold to the white to the green. I'm a real Guyanese. And nothing can change me. So nothing can change me. I'm a real Guyanese. I live in a foreign country. So nothing can change me. We gon' stop broke.
Share the live, share the live, share the live, guys. All the persons tuned in. Share the live, share the live.
Beautiful Guyana, we there in South America, land of kite, the flora and the fauna. Independent people, so we doing what we wanna. Never violate because you could become a Ghana. Them love we country, all the foreigners, them children salute you. In the Indian temple, now we border, we no want no problem. Never fall, forever standing. Me love how God make you.
You know God make you.
Unique in every way, God I never mistake you. If Guyana was a girl, I surely would date you. That's why them want take you. I'm a real Guyanese. From the time when I step on the scene to the moment I leave. I'm a real Guyanese. From the red to the black to the gold to the white to the green. I'm a real Guyanese. And nothing can change me. So nothing can change me. I'm a real Guyanese.
Morning to all the persons tuned in already. Just share the live on your page. In a group with a friend. Livewire is live. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to all the persons tuned in. Good morning to all my fellow Guyanese. Good morning to those persons in the Caribbean, all my Caribbean brothers and sisters, my CARICOM brothers and sisters. Good morning to all those other persons in the other countries in South America, North America, England, Europe, wherever you're looking at us from. Good morning to you, and welcome to another edition of the Live Wire. Morning to all the persons tuned in already. Some persons get in before the live starts on YouTube, so a special good morning to all those persons who are locked in before we are locked on. You know, it is very encouraging to see persons here early every morning. Shout out to Mr. Dion Young, Councillor Young, out of the Mayor and City Council, representing that Georgetown, Central Georgetown, Sophia area there. Councillor Young, been on the council there for some time, trying to get the controlling arm of the council to see some sense. You know, he's still in the fight. He's still trying, still working at it. We were supposed to have somebody on this week from City Hall to give us an update on the statutory meetings and what's been happening there. But the team has been extremely busy, and we here at Livewire will continue to endeavor to have someone, one of the councillors, come on to give us an update on what is really going on at City Hall there and what's the way forward. As we know, you know, City Hall has been a sore point for some time. So this morning, before I get into today's content, I wanted to touch on an issue. Yesterday was the second time that I was approached by an individual, or I should say, It is the second time that individuals have approached me to claim, in their view, that I'm racist towards Afro-Guyanese. I didn't understand where it was coming from, but listening to the view of the last person who approached me in this regard, their argument was that I shouldn't curse my own people. Now, first of all, I have never degraded or denigrated Afro-Guyanese or Africans at any point. At any point, in any program that I've been on, anything that I've hosted, there's no post or video of me or issued by me degrading Afro-Guyanese. If it is that, or before I get to that, I lambaste opposition personnel for some of the stupidness that they put out to the Guyanese people. Now, if they happen to be Afro-Guyanese, that is not my fault. And that will not stop me from calling them out when I see them or hear them doing foolishness. So the argument was made that because I'm Afro-Guyanese, I should condone or hold up the nonsense that is being perpetuated by the opposition because they're Afro-Guyanese as well. And I will say to you here, as I said to the person in that conversation yesterday, nonsense, foolishness, and I don't subscribe to that. Not because I'm Afro-Guyanese, I'm going to jump on the Aubrey North and Kool-Aid train. Morning to you, Chedi. Right? Not because I'm Afro-Guyanese, I'm going to jump on the Congress Place Kool-Aid train. And I think logical, sensible Afro-Guyanese feel the same way. We have seen a multitude of Afro-Guyanese coming out in support of the PVP with reasons behind that. The inefficiency of the coalition government, the inability to keep its promises made on the campaign trail, the duplicity in so many quarters from that side. The fact that Afro-Guyanese couldn't benefit under the coalition. Those are some of the reasons that Afro-Guyanese have walked away from the PNC, APNU, AFC. So again, I call out foolishness when I see it. If it happens to be Afro-Guyanese doing the foolishness, I can't do anything about that. So I took offense to that yesterday. Because I don't go around saying black people stupid or black people ain't got sense or calling them names and that kind of thing. I call specific individuals names and call them stupid and say they don't have sense. And most times I would call their name so that people know exactly who I'm talking about. I don't make a broad statement. Anybody who's supporting the coalition stupid. No, I don't say that. I say Correct is stupid. I say Sherrod is stupid, or Rickford Burke is stupid, or Aubrey Norton is a colossal idiot based on the foolishness that he tell people at his press conference and the nonsense that he telling people overseas. I say people like Christopher Jones is stupid and was unable to deliver promises as a sport director. I say Pissin Patterson is stupid, right? And was unable to deliver as a public works minister. Well, he probably delivered to himself with all the benefits that he got. I say Raphael Trotman is stupid for the stupid oil contract that he signed on Diana's behalf. I said David Granger is stupid because he was an absentee president. And how could you be a president and absent? I say the last coalition government was stupid because they argued dual citizenship when most of them got dual citizenship over there, that they had to move out of the parliament. So, again, if it is a case where I'm calling out stupidity and nonsensical behavior. You know what is stupid? You saying you have a poll, right? You as a political leader saying you have a poll, or a poll was conducted, showing that you and your party are the shoe-in for the next regional general elections, and don't make that poll public. That's stupid. That's the nonsense that I just call out. And it just so happened to be that is Afro-Guyanese spewing the foolishness. And mind you, at no point in time do I say, well, this is a stupid black opposition leader, or this is a stupid black MP. I just keep it simple. It's just a stupid opposition leader or a stupid MP from PNC. I've never addressed anybody by race here. At no point. That stuff 𝒊𝒏𝒔𝒄𝒍𝒂𝒊𝒎 and them just do. Talk about religion and them kind of thing and try to divide people. I encourage Afro-Guyanese on a daily basis to open their eyes and see what is around them and make a decision on their own. So that is that. And I hope for those two individuals, this would have cleared up any misunderstanding you had, or anybody else out there who feel that I'm attacking Afro-Guyanese on this program or anywhere that I am, any platform that I'm on. Right? No. Attack the nonsense that I hear from the opposition. And it just so happens to be Afro-Guyanese putting out the nonsense. Is Afro-Guyanese talk about Christina? Is an Afro-Guyanese, I think is the vice chairman of PNC with his calculation there. Is Afro-Guyanese telling other Afro-Guyanese that Guyana is in an apartheid state? So why are those individuals not calling them out for dividing Guyana? So I will continue to call out the foolishness when I see it. Despite the race, once it's full. Look, I call out 𝒂𝒏𝒕𝒄𝒍𝒂𝒊𝒎 with this nonsense. So how could you come up with this, that I am racist towards Afro-Guyanese? Anyway. Morning to all the persons tuned in already. Good morning to you guys. Thank you guys for joining. And I just had to do that little bit of housekeeping. I felt very hurt yesterday when these allegations. Morning to Miss Ramdak looking at us from French Guyana. Morning to all the persons there in region 2. Morning to all you guys. Please share the live on your page, in a group, on wherever, so that persons who may not be able to join us early this morning, they can get to see and hear what is going on. And probably if those persons are late this morning, they are able to see and hear what is being shared. Special good morning to Sally Jones, one of the persons who tunes in here religiously, and I do appreciate that support and consistency. So I talk about the roundabout yesterday. People want me to go back to the roundabout, right? We got a caller on the line. We got a caller coming through. Just let me disconnect this Bluetooth. Hi, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you this morning?
Man, I got a little back pain, and like I was saying to the viewers, that little conversation yesterday, it kind of shake me up, man, because I'm wondering. I'm sitting here every morning highlighting development.
One conversation, you You had a discussion with somebody.
Yes, well, a viewer had WhatsApped me, claiming that
Claiming that you are racist
towards Afro-Guyanese. I'm cursing my people
towards Afro-Guyanese, and you are Afro-Guyanese.
Man, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
That person is out of the Flapnoot playbook, because Flapnoot is the epitome of what they accuse people of him.
Perfect. That is exactly it.
For example, right? If one should properly dissect and examine or analyze the statement and rhetoric of Flapnoot in context, sir, every part of the statement or the rhetoric revolves around the pretext of racism. But if one should examine the public sector, the majority are Afro-Guyanese.
Yep.
Right?
Joint services as well.
To the new PPPC government, we have seen an emergence of young black entrepreneurship. Under the same government of whom the APNU or FLAPNU would want to accuse of racism. Right?
Yeah.
When one sitting minister in the previous government had the audacity to say she's not a chatri to know the difference from Diwali and Pagwa.
Oh my goodness.
That was racist.
Valda Lawrence comment calling our Meridian people box.
That is what I'm saying, right? My brother, if a party, a political organization only emphasize, only elaborate or over-exaggerate and hypothesize these supposed racist action by the government, but can't find one iota, one example, one tangible example that could convince not only the wider society, but the world over, including the two of us, that the sitting government is racist. I think, and then, you know what's amazing? Leading up to the 2015 election or after the 2015 election, the campaign on both sides, right? Let's pay more emphasis on FLAPNU, because remember, FLAPNU campaign is always centered around Afro-Guyanese.
Yeah.
So when they in power, Afro-Guyanese don't get nothing. From 1992, sir, to 2015, many Afro-Guyanese own their own home, drive their own car, own their own business. That would have been very difficult to accomplish under the same Afro-Guyanese government, according to FLAPNU.
Yeah.
Measure that 2015 to 2020. You know how many Afro-Guyanese business went bankrupt?
Belly up, sir. Belly up. Beer sufferation.
Right? Let's look at the outlet distribution. Imagine you give up one black man, you give 270 acres. And the reason why I give you 270 acres is because I don't know if they had a pre-arrangement with the chief election officer, the former chief election officer, to rig the election. And so they would have gifted him that large swath of land. Right? Could you recall before 2015 the attack on Chinese businesses? And after 2015, Mr. Joseph Armand were on a private jet in Macau.
Man, living his best life. Living his best life.
Could you recollect when the last election and the Americans, Mr. Trump?
Yeah, Mr. Pompeo.
Good. They claim that, y'all can sanction we didn't go to China. So how y'all know China now? Y'all be just attacking the Chinese just a term ago. just before or a little over torment.
Yeah, yeah.
And now you want to look. These people really angry and they really barefaced, sir.
That's the sad part about it. The
I just imagine if
barefacedness.
you had a child with the characteristic of Flapnoo, you and the child will get real problems, sir.
You listen. The barefacedness is so real. You could imagine Jarita Finance arguing a point that the because we care should have been $50,000 already when they take away $10,000 from the children in this country.
We hadn't high revenue in 2014 when that initiative started under the PPPC. The economy was the government funding or government projects were funded from taxpayers money. Taxpayers and export from local manufacturers.
Right.
The foreign exchange comes in from that. Right? And sugar played a very instrumental role in that.
Yeah.
Or many other sectors that became productive and or would have evolved under the PPPC, especially the service sector.
Exactly.
Right? You see, persons don't read. Malcolm X say you want to hide something from a black man, you hide it in a book. Because the white man got he so scuffle, you know, Flapnoo, like use the word.
Look.
Right?
Look.
But don't feel any way. I am not disrespecting you or denigrating you in any way. I'm just making a general statement, right? And I am not quoting this. This is not my own quoting. I am quoting this from a speech that was made by Malcolm X.
Yeah, well, I heard that before, so, so probably those who don't know.
Mr.
But
Joe,
indeed.
Mr. Joe, I'm saying Flapnoo has nothing tangible to sell the support base. If we're looking at vision, Flapnoo is not a vision for the supporters. Most of what all the supporters would have accomplished is under the PPPC, and it continues to be that.
Up to yesterday, tell a guy that.
All of what Flapnoo, look, I saw 2015 when they had a big campaign. If you see vehicles parked there, most of those vehicles were bought under PPP grain. You remember when actual parents, when they used to bring bus in 2 halves and China up, is how the bus used to come into this country.
It's real old type story there, man.
You remember when you could have come with the number of cars on the road, sir?
I still in my 30s. I might not be that old, but I know that.
Well, today is my birthday. I started 9 years.
Well, happy birthday to you, man. And
right?
all our viewers give her a call and happy birthday in the comments there, man.
Right? So I'm saying to you, sir, that if you measure it, well, I don't know what parameter does APNU use to determine human, or how Flapnoo measure human development index. But if one should do an analysis from 1990 to 2023, excluding the 5 years of mismanagement, let us look at the PPPC first 23 years and now the almost 3.5 years, and measure the development that would have unfolded during that period of time. I think we would have made tremendous progress, sir.
Definitely.
Well,
definitely.
if you look at the physical features of Georgetown, it continued to change by the day. And if you look at the physical features around the country, it continued to change by the day as well. Contrast that before 1990 or before 1992, when we were a part of the HICP, the highly indebted, the highly indebted poor country club. We were a part of the club. Until Mr. Jazio, when he became the finance minister, I think in 1996 or 1995. I might be wrong. I might be off for the year, but I think it's around that same period because before that you had Oscar Ali. This is when Mr. Jagan took power, and then Mr. Jagdeo was a junior finance minister under Mr. Hadi. So he became the finance minister, I think, in 1996 when the brand how we kind. Remember when we moved from the
the $5 and the $10 coin.
That was in 1996 December. I remember that very well. Right? And Mr. Jagdeo, through the Paris Club agreement, were very instrumental in negotiating a lot of debt write-off and debt forgiveness from the huge debt burden that the PNC left this country into. Imagine our economy in 1992 at nominal GDP, which reflects the actual economic strength of a country. Isn't that so, sir?
Exactly.
The nominal GDP was $368.7 million. You could go and fact check this. With a debt load of $2.1 billion and arrears on the debt amounting to $1.5 billion. When the PNC threw this country into political turmoil after they would have lost the 1997 election, when they started slow fire, move fire, when many Indian businesses or many businesses whom they were perceived to be supporters of the PPP were burned, vandalized, and looted.
I know about that. I know about that very well.
You know, they throw this country into an economic hemorrhage during 1997 or 1998, because the entire 1998 was met with large protests, huge protests in the street, trying to destabilize the government. When the CARICOM broker, remember the hard day when the Mr. 𝒂𝒊𝒆𝒂𝒊𝒎 initiated the election, right? And the CARICOM broker that agreement with the PPP were only given 3 years, and the election were held in 2001.
I think it's when they went to court about the voter ID card or something like that.
Exactly.
And they cut the term short.
The PPP would have agreed on that process.
Yeah.
And I brought up, I am not a academic, but I have a very good retainer. You understand? I lived through those periods, and it wasn't nice. I remember when PNC started to separate Mashimani at Sophia. Could you recall that, sir?
No.
Well, that separate Mashimani, the first Mashimani, they kept at Congress Place in Sophia. My auntie in Boxon took me to that one of that in 1999. She took me to the Mashimani. I nearly get sample on the bridge there, the Wood Bridge. I could tell you these things like it's yesterday, sir. I never read these things in book.
Experience. Experience.
I lived through these periods, sir, and it wasn't nice. I remember when the Suriname gunboat came and they run the exploration vessel, CGX exploration vessel. When Mr. Jagdeo went to the tribunal, the UN tribunal, there were many meetings that were held in Georgetown. This is when Mr. Jagdeo used to be in Queenstown. Remember, Mr. Jagdeo got his foundation in Queenstown?
Yeah.
Back in the days, he used to be there, other than the State House. You know, the opposition tried to undermine the discussion that were held between the UN, the Surinamese, and the Guyana counterparts.
Well, that's in the normal fashion. So, not surprising.
To national sovereignty is the opposition. The APNUAFC is the greatest threat to this country's sovereignty. I am telling you that.
It was a good thing we got some good leadership that working to ensure that they don't ever get back into power. So they're working for the people.
In the 60s, he wanted to give Venezuela part of the maritime space in the Northwest.
And no, I'm not aware. I gotta check
Okay,
that out.
ask Dr. Ramatar, the former president, about that. Or even ask Mr. Jabio, because he's a very knowledgeable man.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
But thank you for coming
So
through again
I
this
listen and
morning,
I
though.
read him, and I hope, I just imagine my youth like myself, people like me, or people, Guyanese in the whole, could do a lot of reading. Just read and sensitize yourself to the fact, and do not be clouded with these faceless arguments, rhetoric, propaganda, how you want to context it.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
a blessed day, sir.
Thank you for coming through. Blessed day to you too, brother. Facts, facts. Anyway, let's move on from the nonsense that we were discussing in the opposition. Now let's go to something that people could check. Now the IDB report has said that Guyana's unemployment rates have dropped further, right? The unemployment rate in Guyana has significantly decreased thanks to economic growth driven by the boom in the oil and gas sector. It dropped from 15.6% in the first quarter of 2021 to 14.5% in the third quarter of 2021, with men experiencing a greater decline to 12% in the third quarter of 2021 compared to 18.4% for women. The International Labour Organization estimates further declines in the unemployment rate, which happened last year, reaching 12.4%, 11% for men, and 14.4% for women. Now, it also touched on government initiatives, or let's start look at some of the government initiatives that would be helping to lower this unemployment rate. Now, the government of Guyana has implemented initiatives such as the part-time jobs initiative to help persons generate income. They have committed to creating 50,000 jobs by 2025. Additionally, programs like the Board of Industrial Training, BIT, which is training persons in so many different courses, heavy-duty equipment operator, tailoring or becoming a seamstress, solar repair and installation, catering, all sorts of things you're getting from BIT, and over 20,000 scholarships for Guyanese have enhanced skill sets and employability. Now, let's look at the GDP growth. Guyana's gross domestic product is expected to grow by an impressive 37.2% in 2023, driven in part by the arrival of the third floating production, storage, and offloading FPSO vessel. The diversification of resources have also played a part in this as well. The government is focusing on diversifying its resources beyond oil and investing heavily in the non-oil sectors, particularly agriculture. So y'all would hear me talking about the fertilizer subsidy, the diversification of crops by implementing hemp, by bringing in soybean, by doing black-eyed peas, by doing aquaculture, by the black belly sheep between the partnership between Barbados and Guyana, brackish water shrimp, the broccoli, the cauliflower, and the carrots initiative, the shade house initiative to lower the import bill for the Guyana and the Caribbean. So we see that investment being made in agriculture. Now, the non-oil economy grew by 11.5% in 2022 and is projected to grow by an additional 7.9% in 2023. Now, let's look at some key growth sectors. The main drivers of growth in the non-oil economy in 2022 were agriculture, services, and construction. So despite the opposition claiming that government is only focused on oil, here is an international organization with their report on the operations of Guyana. So it's not tainted or biased or somebody got some interest in there so they make it look good. They're very balanced and objective, right? So, like I was saying, the non-oil economies in 2022, which drove growth, were agriculture, services, and construction, which grew by 11.9%, 9%, and 26.3% respectively. these same sectors, agriculture, services, and growth, are expected to continue growing in 2023 with projections of 7.2%, 5.6%, and 17% respectively. Now, let's jump back a little bit. I spoke about the 𝒄𝒆𝒂 just now. So let's look at the 𝒄𝒆𝒂 prosperity. Now, this is Guyana's third 𝒄𝒆𝒂 to arrive in the offshore Stabroek Block in April. It is designed to produce 220,000 barrels of oil per day and has an overall storage volume of 2 million barrels. The daily production is expected to increase to almost 600,000 barrels a day in 2024 with the addition of the Prosperity vessel, which will boost Guyana's annual revenue. Overall, Guyana's economy is on an upward trajectory with significant improvements in employment rates, GDP growth, diversification of its economic sectors, particularly agriculture and non-oil industries, right? This is the assessment of the International Development Bank, their report. So despite what the opposition is telling you, and I played some videos for you yesterday, which showed international groups and bodies. So we had the outgoing ambassador, Ms. Ledge, speaking about the advancements being made in Guyana and urging Guyanese to take up these advancements and to look at the opportunities that are there for them, right? We've heard her. We've seen the Drew, the social media influencer that was in Guyana in 2016 and complained and gave a bitter report on Guyana. He's back here now and he's talking about how things are different, how he feels safer to go out and there's things to do and things are happening. So we need to pay attention to these things and not the nonsense that is usually spewed from the other side, right? As persons would know, school reopened yesterday, and our Minister of Education, the Honorable Priya Chan, shared a message with students and teachers on our Facebook page as those Guyanese returned to the learning institutions. First of all, she shared, well, this is a synopsis of the message. It's about a fresh start. The new school year is seen as a fresh start and an opportunity for everyone to begin anew and strive to be their best selves. In a message to the teachers, she urged teachers to teach as they would want their own children to be taught. The message emphasized the importance of being dedicated and striving to improve. She also spoke about government support. Teachers are informed about grants from the government of Guyana to assist in cleaning and preparing classrooms, showing government support for education. In her message to parents, parents are reminded that their children need love and attention more than just academics. They are encouraged to speak positively, show love, attend parent-teacher association meetings, and cooperate with the school's requests. In her message to the students are encouraged to make positive change in their lives during the school year. This includes being punctual, completing assignments on time, dedicating time to daily revision, and promoting kindness and respect among peers. The minister promised to love and work hard for the students every day, expressing her dedication to their well-being. And in wishing everyone well, she wished everyone a very successful school year. And, you know, I think this is very heartwarming. Overall, in my view, the message conveys a sense of unity, support, and positivity for the upcoming school year, with the focus on the roles of teachers, parents, and students in achieving success and personal growth. And we've seen Minister Chan over the years as Minister of Education showing that government is committed to advancing education. I played a video for you guys, I think it was last week, of how persons in the Caribbean are like they're going crazy. Guy needs taking up all these awards and doing these things. I wanted to show you as well. Some of the upgrades at some of the schools that the Ministry of Education has implemented to make the space more friendly to those students coming into these facilities, right? So let's take a quick look at that. Oh, no, sorry, still uploading. But I like to see things like this video that I'm going to show you shortly. The ministry taking some initiative and, you know, making the school someplace that is enjoyable. Students want to come, it's more aesthetically friendly, excuse me, aesthetically friendly to the persons attending these facilities. So look at some of these upgrades at some of the schools. So look at that, making the place more aesthetically friendly for the youths going to some of these schools. And I hope that this initiative continues and is spread across all the schools in there, right? So hats off to the ministry for pushing that. And, you know, I'm sure the kids, when they got back to school, seeing that, they were very happy about it. On top of things, as usual, hot meals. Minister Manik Chan again. So on the first day of school, persons had their hot meals available to them. And this again is government showing interest in education, right? So you have the Because We Care to help parents get their kids, whatever the kids need to get them out to school. You have the textbook program. You got hot meals. You got the Ministry of Education upgrading these facilities. Is that not interest in education, Aubrey? Amanza? Coretta? Is that not advancement in education? Are students topping the Caribbean in the examination? Is that not good? Is that not good? Right? And whilst you got ministers working, you got some worries walking around Buxton. Them, you gotta find a photo of these PNC people in Buxton walking around the ground 2015 to 2020. But now that they lost, they treat the people in Buxton terrible. Never do the ground, the Buxton Community Center ground, never did the ground. Minister Ramson had to come and do the ground, put in light, put in basketball ring and all kind of upgrades, right? Now they're ready to come into Buxton. These pack of worries in the PNC. Now they're ready to come into Buxton to play. They got the interest. I love the look on this man's face. You understand? Like, what really are doing it? What really are doing here? When it was time for them to impact the lives of Buxtonians, where were these MPs and the former mayor? I don't know what role he's playing now. I don't even know what he's doing in Buxton. What are you doing there? You understand me? What role were they playing 2015 to 2020? Where was Miss Philadelphia? Where was Roysdale Ford? Where was the mayor of 2015 to 2020 to come into Buxton to meet these people? To do that same road that they stand up on there now that they do. To concrete that same drain that man got them boards over that in concrete. Or desilt it or something. Now they're running into Buxton to tell people what? That the government doing roads in Buxton? Huh? That's what they're going into that government doing roads in Buxton. That the government put the lights at the Buxton Community Center ground so the people could play football a little late in the evening and train and upskill themselves in terms of the sports disciplines that they engaged in. They went and put the basketball court there. They went to do outreach in Buxton. So the only time these people know certain areas is when it's time for votes, you know. And don't be fooled. They started campaigning already. So I feel the licks that they get at the LG throw them into campaign mode right away. So they're running into these communities to tell them what? You think people in those communities aren't seeing their communities move forward? I do not remember 2015 to 2020, and I may be wrong here, of seeing, well, I ain't gonna make this statement because I could be wrong, but I do know that President Ali has been in there to meet the people of Buxton, to hear their issues. I know I've been on Dream Realize where people from Buxton complain of the runaround that they had during the coalition time, Buxtonians, to get a house lot, and were able to come under the People's Progressive Party Civics tenure at the Dream Realize initiative and be able to pull the number and pay for the house lot. I've heard of Buxtonians talking about the getting grants to expand the business. Anybody show me that during the coalition's time? We hear about barbershops and pig pens and all those things. But those are persons who already got a salary increase at Parliament. I'm talking about the average Afro-Guyanese. The average Afro-Guyanese. How would they have benefited under the coalition? And like I was telling the caller earlier, up to yesterday I was telling somebody, just show me one thing that you would have gained or how you have benefited from 2015 to 2020. Just tell me one thing. A house lot. Well, that is exactly what I said. A house lot. He said, I got a house lot. I said, where get the house lot under? When? You understand me? And he could answer. And for the persons who are watching, who might not know what happened in the 23 years of the PPP, you got Diamond Housing Scheme, Amelia's Ward Housing Scheme, you got Block 22, you got upgrades to GPHC, you got road works, you got a new landfill, you got, you got new schools, you got the lowering of taxes. They got so many things. So, Paul, you go and you check. You Google 23 years of the PPC and you can see what they did. You understand? And no matter how you add 28 and 5, it still can't amount to what was done in 28 and 3. 23 and 3. You understand? People like Paul, I want to know where they were when Granger tell the youths that it's not government's job to provide jobs to them. And now vex that government providing jobs to young people. Vex government upskilling young people. Where was Paul to go when they didn't have a labor ministry? It was a department. When people in Linden were suffering because of issues with employment with foreign agencies there. Where was Paul to represent them? Where was Paul when the fishes between Suriname and Guyana having the issues? It's not recently under the coalition. It's long and going on. Recently under the PVP. It's long and going on. What was the initiative that they put forward to remedy that, Paul? Yes, Sometimes I want to give him the donkey of the year. You pretend like you have not seen the East Bank Highway, Paul, in the 23 years. You understand? The last time you left Guyana, Paul, it was a 2-lane on the East Bank there going up to Diamond. It was a 2-lane. In the 23 years, we got a 4-lane. And guess what? In 5 years, some people couldn't even finish a 4-lane that was more than 50% complete on the East Coast. Why you don't go and ask that, Paul? And yes, I can't forget the roads built by the PNC. You know why? Because the only good road built by them was the Linden, the Georgetown to Linden Highway. You understand? That stand up for some time. That's the only thing they got proud to shout about. And you tell me another project of that magnitude that they could say that, yes, we did that. That's the only thing. And look at the state it's in now. And guess what, Paul? Guess what? 2015 to 2020, right? The coalition, which included the PNC, which was founded by Burnham, you understand, didn't even think about resurfacing it with all the accidents that happening with the waves and all of that. Didn't even think about resurfacing it. You know who been doing all them road and avenue that name after Burnham? The PPP. The PPP. Mocha. Burnham driver, whatever the PPP do it. The coalition didn't see it fit in that time to go into Mocha and do it. Same thing in Linden. Same thing in All Boys Town. Get away from here, Paul. You get away from here with your you talking nonsense. Because you have nothing that you could type in these comments here as a major project under the coalition that benefited Afro-Guyanese or the majority of Guyanese. Thank you, Nirmala, Paul, the Providence Stadium. And you're full of fool. These people just make you one cause. These people just make you one cause. But thank you, the Providence Stadium. You got that in the 23 years of the PPP. That now we can host CPL finals 3 years in a row. What major sporting activity Christopher Jones ever organized to come to this country, or Nicolette Henry, or George Norton as ministers of sport? What they do? What facility they add to this country so that the young people who in sport could do something? They couldn't even finish a synthetic track in their own area. I wouldn't even call the Urban Park a facility. It's a dump site and a wooden's nest. That is the Urban Park, a wooden's nest. I can't see in this day and age you building a wooden stadium. Stupid. In this day and age, you building a wood stadium. Y'all know what people house y'all must he mess up in the area with all the wood and y'all got wrong the place. People should sue the PNC and the APNU for the foolishness that they put there. Ain't fence it properly, nothing. So you can't even secure the area. It's like, look. I feel I might get Black Paul from this life because he's getting me worked up. I don't like to get worked up. But it's the foolishness that people like Paul just come here and talk. You don't know what happened in 23 years? You wouldn't know what happened in 23 years under the PVP? And you know something, Paul? Even if the oil prices drop, it's a good thing we have a sensible president and a sensible cabinet, so that our agriculture sector is booming right now. Our tourism sector is growing right now. Our education sector is performing right now. So our future looks bright. You understand? Our future looks bright. And we cannot say that. We cannot say that 2015 to 2020. Or we cannot say that 28 years of PNC rule. You understand? We can't say that, Paul. We have nothing to look at. And it's people like you who sit over in the United States, continuing to build the United States. And that's fine. that is quite fine because most likely is the PNC run you out of Guyana, make you have to be over there. The sufferation, you probably didn't have flour and all them things where you could import them things. You understand? That's what probably got you over there. So you sit there, not being able to comment too much on the colonizers area. You understand me? And I agree. I ain't gonna block you, Paul. You got to learn. You got to learn. Right? You sit there, you can't comment too much on them people area. But you're abusing down Guyana. You're abusing down Guyana. And you want to invest in Guyana. You want to come back and live in Guyana to make Guyana progress and move forward. You don't want to do that. Paul, almost 3 months ago, told me about he got all this equipment, he's in construction and that kind of thing. I said, man, why you don't draft a letter to go invest, let them know you're interested, whatever it is. However, I could probably put you on to somebody, I'll try to assist. Up to now, Paul ain't do nothing. Ain't make no move. And people like them gonna sit in America and say, Afro-Guyanese from the diaspora, when they try to come home and invest, they have a hard time. Right? But it's people like them that's got a set of requirements. You got to meet this minister, you want to meet this head agency. Go in the places just like anybody else and submit your proposal. But they want to meet this top body and that top body and that top body. Then you can hear corruption and bribe and all kind of thing. The people deal with the staff of the ministries, deal with the staff of the agencies, follow the process. Follow the process. It's some people just make this whole corruption thing, like give it life. You understand? Give it life because they don't want to follow the process. They want things to happen for them quickly so they can go and entice people with money. Follow the process. You understand? Listen to the Miss Lynch, who spoke about the many opportunities here in Guyana, and Origin Guyana needs to take hold of them. Right? Origin Guyana needs to take hold of them. So that I done with you there. I done with you there, champ. I done with you there. So quickly before I go, I wanted to touch on the Prime Minister had cause to what? I didn't put that thing in here. Okay, let me get it quickly. Oh boy. Sorry about that. I thought I pulled it over on my main script. But anyway, Minister Ejil is asking or has his drivers to be a little more careful on the roadways with all these fatalities that we've been having. He released a statement yesterday. You guys could see that on his Facebook page. However, before I wrap up, I'd like to touch on the Prime Minister dealing with a matter. And opposition and the stupidness. And 𝒂𝒐𝒂𝒊𝒆𝒂𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 Mark Phillips has strongly criticized opposition member of Parliament Royce Ford for his comments on the magnitude of slavery and its comparison to the present government. I tell you all about this apartheid nonsense that they were pushing the other day, right? Any sensible Guyanese, and I don't even clear the race, any sensible Guyanese, how can you equate the two? Slavery and the PPPC. But again, it's not the race I'm attacking, it's the person spewing the foolishness. And this gentleman, Royce Ford, I think he has senior counsel attached to his name. I think it was Muhammad who said last night, Assadine Muhammad, that, what? Let me get it, man. Oh, man. Wait, let me get it. Muhammad said this thing last night. I should have saved it and pull it up for y'all to see. And it's indeed true. I hate what this is from Team Mohammed's 12 hours ago, posted to their Facebook page. If y'all take it for a lie. I hate when people confuse education with intelligence. You could have a bachelor's degree and yet be an idiot. That is the perfect example of the foolishness 𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒕 putting out here. So I'm glad that the Prime Minister took the time to rebuff him. Right? Y'all check Mohammed's page, the last post. They got nothing after that. Mohammed said it himself. I hate when people confuse education to intelligence. You could have a bachelor's degree and still be an idiot. And that is what I'm saying about some of these people here in the opposition. Very educated, but idiots. 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 You understand? Idiots. So Ford had stated that the current government is not different from the colonial masters and enslavers, referring to the apology offered by former British Prime Minister William Gladstone. PM Phillips considered these comments to be historically unaware and insensitive. And this is the PM being nice, because you could say more about the comments. Stupid, 𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒕, stupid comment by you, right? The Prime Minister spoke about the magnitude of slavery. The PM emphasized that slavery is one of the darkest chapters in human history, characterized by inhumane suffering, dehumanization, and systematic violation of basic human rights. He condemned Ford's attempt to trivialize the impact of slavery and discredit the suffering of countless individuals. Would they call Ford a racist about because of this? Because he's Afro-Guyanese, right? He's Afro-Guyanese. Now, the PM asserted that such comments are a part of the opposition's campaign to perpetuate falsehoods and mislead the Guyanese people, with the aim of undermining the government's policy of promoting inclusiveness and unity. Y'all look at the rhetoric that always comes from that corner. Race. Literally the only card left in their playbook. I'm guaranteeing you, if they could have pulled a card to say, we have done so much for this country, they would have, but they can't. There is no project that the opposition, when they were in government, could show you that they did that impacted a large amount of Guyanese. The same guy I spoke to yesterday told me about the buses. You got 5 Tortosita buses on the East Coast, right? 5 Tortosita buses. And this is what I encourage the people on the opposition to do. Because I'm not good at maths, so I use my calculator, right? 5 Tortosita buses on the East Coast taking children to school. Now look at the logic. That's what I tell you, some people stupid. 5 Tortosita buses working on the East Coast bringing children to school, right? That's 150 children. 150 children. All of them got to reach school for either 8 or 9 o'clock. How many trips you think them 5 buses making? So one go down with the 5 buses, 150 children. You know how much children living on the East Coast that going to school? You know how much children living on the East Coast? How is that holistically benefiting the students of Guyana? And there were allegations that the buses used to pick up certain people, children in certain areas. What nonsense y'all telling people? Huh? What nonsense y'all telling people? Those benefited no one. Back to PM here. PM Phillips highlighted that President Dr. Irfan Ali is a passionate advocate for the Caribbean Community Reparations Initiative, right? Demonstrating a commitment to addressing past wrongs and working towards mutual understandings and reconciliation. Right? The only person you usually hear preaching about reparations is David Hines, that talks about it frequently. But the manner in which he talks about it, he doesn't take into consideration all affected parties. They only look at one section of the affected parties. And that is where I have an issue. Because I don't see myself as Afro. I see myself as a Guyanese. So even when I look at Indian or Amerindian, I don't see race. I see a Guyanese. So if I'm looking for reparations, because as you would know, indentured laborers were here, the slaves were here, the Amerindians had their displacement because of the colonizers who came. They had to move forward into the interior. You understand? And at some point, Chinese are involved in it in some way, shape, or form. So why are we not looking for reparations for everyone? Right? Why are we not looking for reparations for everyone? Why are we trying to dwarf the struggles of one group against another? Whilst they are not the same, we can't look at one thing and leave the other. Right? Now, the PM also spoke about government's approach. The government's plans and policies reflect an understanding of the importance of creating a diverse, multicultural, and bright future while learning from the past experiences. Prime Minister Phillips stressed on the importance of this approach for leaders of a country. In defense of the president and government, PM Phillips vowed not to stand idly while the opposition tarnishes the reputation of President Ali and undermines the trust the citizens have placed in the government. He reaffirmed the government's commitment to fostering inclusivity and equality through meaningful collaboration. Right? So I'm glad the PM took the time to rebuff this guy who knows about them blank checks and he'll speak out about it publicly. This guy, 𝒊𝒏𝒊𝒈𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈𝒆𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏 where it is alleged that his voice is on, is aware of this blank check issue and still supports that sort of corruption in his party, still supporting that corruption in his party. So what are we to say if 𝒊𝒏𝒇𝒓𝒊𝒈𝒄𝒍𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 with corruption on his behalf? Like, are we supporting the corruption of Aubrey Norton? Roysdale, Mahipal, Mussolini, Courdel Jones, all of them. All of them who supporting Aubrey Norton and his corruption. Those blank checks. That is why I'm glad we have dancing on the finance committee at City Hall there. So just in case our mayor or the city mayor gets some kind of, I don't even know what to call it, to start writing some blank checks, there's systems in place to check in. Don't think y'all gonna take the money City Hall ain't got to send it to Congress Place, you know. Anybody passing Congress Place realize Congress Place in weed since these people lose this election? The area in weed since these people lose this election? And I ain't talking LG, you know, talking regional general election. In weed yet? So that shows you where they are, the space they're in. Anyway, that's all the time I have for today. I'd like to thank the persons for joining us. Please share the live, even if you just came on. Share the live so persons coming on later can have a quick look. And remember, the heritage is still going on. Heritage celebrations, Heritage 2023. You can check the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs Facebook page for updates on activities from Heritage 2023, where they're going to be happening, what's happening, and where how you can be a part of it. Tonight, again, I think they're going to be down at the 𝒐𝒊𝒔𝒄𝒍𝒂𝒊𝒎𝒄 Exhibition Center. So for persons who are interested in some good indigenous entertainment, some beautiful indigenous craft, scrumptious indigenous cuisine, and lovely indigenous people, you can head down to the 𝒐𝒊𝒔𝒄𝒍𝒂𝒊𝒎 Exhibition Center, which houses the Amerindian village there, next to the newly commissioned NTC Secretariat, and be a part of the heritage celebrations this year. Hats off to the ministry for organizing and pulling it off, and also hats off to the government of Guyana for supporting our indigenous population, land titling and grants, presidential grants, prime ministerial grants, LCDS, carbon credits, everything. Looking out for the persons there in the indigenous communities. Look, you see Miss Chase Green? Look, I love this lady. She's I spoke about this yesterday, right? 𝒐𝒊𝒔𝒄 come out to the national cleanup to clean up Congress Place. That would have been the perfect opportunity for them to get Congress Place in. Morning to Tracy Martindale. Morning to you and all the staff down there at the GCOM Bartica office. Morning to you guys. Morning to everybody in Bartica. Tiziana, morning. Diana, Lyra, morning to all you guys. Have a great day. Bev, morning to you. Delroy, to the mayor, prime ministerial rep, Ario, regional staff. Good morning to everybody. Good morning. Y'all have a great day. Y'all please be safe on the roadways. Please take your time. The students are out, so please look for them. I saw the increase of traffic with the addition of the students on the road. So if traffic was tight over the holidays, imagine what it's going to be like now that the students are back at school. Special good morning to Miss Sonia Herbert. Morning to you. I'm glad to see you on the live. I'm pretty sure you're up and out at work already. You know, you don't really sleeping and that kind of thing. So morning to you and all your staff. Special good morning to all the ranks of the Guyana Police Force, the ranks of the officers there, Guyana Defense Force, Guyana Fire Service, Guyana Prison Service. Hold a big up to yourself. Everybody in the public service, all the ministries, morning to you. Morning to our ministers, morning to our Prime Minister, morning to our President, morning to our General Secretary and Vice President, Dr. Jagdeo. Morning to everybody. Please be safe on the roadways. See you here again tomorrow, same time, same place, as we deal with some of the worries that being put out by the opposition, and at the same time, make you aware of all the development, all the advancements that are happening across the country in relation to Guyana moving forward. Again, don't forget, you can head down to the Heritage Village at 𝒐𝒊𝒔𝒄𝒍𝒂𝒊𝒕. There. It's still going on. I think tonight is the last night at the Heritage Village there. Big up to the people in Batavia, Heritage Village for this year. Good morning to all you guys looking at us here from Region 7. That's it for me. I keep saying that's it for me and I'm continuing. But really, that's it for me now. Y'all enjoy the rest of the day. It's wonderful being here with you. See you here tomorrow, same time, same place. Peace, love, one Guyana.
Taro tarusa, usesa wabadeda, kekakru wandaha tu makuba. Trawa bukaha, harwa kutaha, kenchawa marita, kakusa wabodeda, tomata piken tomata pi. Tomata piken tomata pi. Tomata piken tomata pi. Tomata piken tomata pi. Da ichiyamoka, pamata piasa, trata marita, kakro bodeda, Da uyu amoka ba mata piasa trato marita harwa harwa kudahato mata piken to mata pi mata piken to mata pi mata piken to mata pi